Hello, AJ. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing fine, thank you, Frank. How are you?
Let's tell the truth here. We've just been doing our totting up on our results predictions from the last show, and I got 24 correct. AJ.
I didn't get 24.
And he won't reveal how many he's got either.
It was a dignified score, but it wasn't near to 24.
Yeah, that listener got lucky. I think that's the best I've ever done.
No, well, yeah, to be fair, I think I ended up winning most of the results last season just on like a walkover because you'd forgotten to mark your homework from the week before.
I think he's just making that up as he goes.
I'm not making it up as I go along.
Anyway, listen, what have you been up to, mate?
What have I been up to? So we're on a Wednesday, so...
Oh, it's warm today, isn't it?
It's very warm. I was in the office all day and I really struggled. I had to have the windows open, the blinds closed, the fans on. Oh, it was absolutely ridiculous, and I'm still really warm now. I'm really uncomfortable. I don't do well in office attire at the best of times. I just feel overwhelmed with heat, and it's not good for me at all.
We're moaning about the good weather.
I know, we moan about the good weather, we moan about the bad weather. We just need it to be overcast but warm, and that'll be that.
Well, I remember going back to the lockdown, the early part of the lockdown. The weather was really good up until about June.
Yeah, the one everyone enjoyed. Yeah,
and then the rest of the weather for the year was a bit pish.
Yeah, I think it was.
I've never known an August to be as hot for as long.
I know, wasn't that the sort of hottest one on record up until about last year or something like that?
I'm surprised.
Absolutely mental. Anyway, I've not really been up to much.
We've been too busy, haven't we?
I think we have been very busy. Yeah. So my sister came back from Australia, so I went over to the family house and we had a bit of a welcome home bash for her. That was really nice. And then other than that, it's just been nose to the grindstone for Skem. To be honest, we'll talk about that a bit later on. But that's all I've been really doing.
Yeah, I know.
Skem stuff.
It's surprising, really, isn't it? That actually people behind the scenes are doing a little bit of work.
It takes over me. Honestly, a bit more than that. It feels like it's taking over my life to some degree.
And it does, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. Had a nice little bike ride on Monday morning as well. Was trying to have one today, but ended up falling back asleep. Woke up, I was late for work, so had to make a mad dash. Luckily enough, managed to get there just about on time, but I could have done without that this morning.
Right. Have you been watching anything on the box?
No, not particularly. So last time I recommended a movie and a TV show, and I said that I was still watching Grey's Anatomy. So I'm just
you're still on that.
Still on Grey's Anatomy at the minute.
Well, I'm still on Point of Interest, and I've sort of put it to one side a little bit, and then I've just picked it up again. Realised how good the show is, and anybody that's watched. Point of Interest, Person of Interest, isn't it? Yeah. It is about a piece of software that taps into every form of social media and live cameras and CCTV, the lot, and you kind of guess that that's where we're heading already. Big Brother has already got an eye on us everywhere. I just wish sometimes that Big Brother would have an eye on you and I and see what we're up to.
Oh God, I don't think it'd be particularly interesting from my perspective.
But we could broadcast that then, couldn't we?
Oh, we could. Yeah. Jesus. Maybe they should lock us, just us two, in the Big Brother home and just see how long it takes before we start hitting each other with saucepans.
Yeah, and give us £100,000 to the winner, and then we can give it back to Skem United.
Yes, we will put it back to Skem United. Yeah. There you go, and that'll see us floating for a decade.
And the other thing I've been watching is I've been revisiting, because I've done for the last sort of 2 years I've been watching a lot of Not Going Out and Men Behaving Badly, Mrs. Brown's Boys, and just to pick up, I've been going back to the Only Fools and Horses. Sometimes you forget how really good it is.
Yeah.
You're not a big Only Fools and Horses?
Yeah, just couldn't get into it, unfortunately. No.
None of it at all?
No, I couldn't do it.
There are a few people similar to you.
It's an overwhelming rarity that people who couldn't get into Only Fools and Horses, but I just...
Is it a generational thing, do you think? Because you're 30 years of age, I'm 58.
Yeah.
You'd have been born when it started.
Yeah, and the rest, yeah.
80s, late?
About late 80s, yeah.
When were you born?
1994. So.
1994? So it started around about 1982, 83.
Okay.
So yeah, I suppose it is. I would imagine it's a generational thing.
Could very well be, yeah.
Because back in that day, it was we were sort of in the grips of Thatcherism.
Yes.
And the black economy.
That
was more thriving than the real economy.
Yeah.
And everybody had to dig deep and find money from wherever they could.
Yeah.
In order to survive. And I suppose if you didn't live during that particular period, it would be a little bit more difficult to pick it up. That said, the sort of later episodes, the Miami Twice, the film version where they done, I think there was 2 episodes which formed a film. That was quite good. That was later on, and then when they, I think when they finally found the fortune, it changed a little bit. A little bit like if you watch Not Going Out started as one of those typical sitcoms where the man is trying to get the woman, but the woman is not responding, and eventually they get together, they get married, they have kids, and what they've done is, rather than stick purely to the sitcom in the from a period where you're chasing each other, they've evolved. So the series has changed. It's more like a comedy soap opera that has developed over the generations, which makes it good. A lot of people are critical of that, but I like a good comedy that changes with the times.
That could work, yeah. Have you got round to watching Band of Brothers yet?
Who?
Band of Brothers?
Band of Brothers? No.
Yeah, I told you about it a week ago. Yeah, do you remember?
I mentioned it to Rowena, but like I say, you just pick up the old ones, like you say, you're picking up things, and then eventually they're there. You press that button and say, I like something that I might like and I might watch.
Very well.
But yeah, so it's roasting. We're going to have a long and thoughtful show coming up. The windows are wide open. If you can hear anything in the background, you'll be able to hear a waterfall. I pick it all up on the headphones. You probably can't pick it up at all, but I'm certainly... Listen, if I fall asleep, it's because I'm listening to the water. If I leave the show mid-flow, it's because I've gone to the toilet for a wee. Because that's what water tends to do to a 58-year-old man. Running water makes you go to the loo.
Whoops. Right.
Yeah, I think let's do the show.
Let's start, yeah, fair enough.
Hello and welcome to the Speaking Frankly Football Show. I'm Frank Hughes, the chairman of Skelmersdale United Football Club, and alongside me is my co-host and passionate press officer, AJ the Jet. Not that being involved in the football club is a prerequisite for hosting a football podcast, but it certainly helps. We are ready to dive headfirst into the vibrant world of non-league football in the North West, and we might even take a moment to discuss some of the bigger headlines in the sport. We'll explore life in the North West counties, bring you interviews with well-known faces in the league, and analyse how local teams are performing while making bold predictions for their upcoming matches. Nothing is off the limits here. We'll be diving into all kinds of topics, including complicated refereeing decisions and regulations that often leave fans perplexed. We want to hear from you too. This is your show, so don't hesitate to reach out with topics you want us to tackle. Let's get this conversation started and enjoy every single moment. We are speaking frankly. Hello and a warm welcome to episode 6 of series 2 of the Speaking Frankly Football Show, and a particular warm welcome to the dulcet tones of AJ, my co-host.
Hello! Hello, Frank. Yes, those are the dulcet tones that just to set his heart going just a little bit faster. Thank you ever so much for joining, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Speaking Frankly Football Show, where the season is near enough underway for most audiences and most clubs, except ours down in the Liverpool counties, but not to worry because that's all coming up soon. So today on Speaking Frankly, we are going to check in with some movement at Chadderton FC. We're going to check in with some numbers and movement at Marine. We're going to jump over to Needham Market and what's going on there. We're going to make a pit stop at Morecambe FC to see if their trials and tribulations have reached a resolve. for the time being. Then we will take a look around the divisions and around the grounds, including the Northern Premier League, the Northern Premier League West, the National League North, the National League proper, the Liverpool counties, and the North West counties as well. All of that is coming up, and we will obviously finish with us checking in, as we do, at Skelmersdale United. Franklin.
Yes, most definitely. We said we're going to start the show with the positives, and then we're going to move on to Morecambe, which is a bit of a worry. We obviously been taking a close look at that.
Yes.
But we'll come to that in a minute. Chadderton Football Club. I think you raised the story about Dale Harris, who's been appointed CEO of Chadderton Football Club.
Yes,
this is good news off the back of a huge investment that the club recently received in order to improve their facilities.
Yeah.
So AJ, I'll let you go with that one, mate.
Yeah, sound. The significant appointment, as Frank said, follows a £1 million investment into the club's facilities, which they moved into at the start of this season, having spent the last couple of years ground sharing at Avro. They're now in their own place, and they've hit the ground running. Much like they did last season, they're on their way and heading up the top of the North West Counties Premier League again. So Dale Harris, the man who's been appointed the CEO, joins from the Latics, Wigan Athletic, whereas he served as head of commercial and business development during the 24-25 season. He'll form part of the senior management as the club. Hang on, which Latics are we talking about here? Because it says Latics. I assume that's Wigan.
He's joined from the Latics, yeah.
Who are the Latics?
I don't know. This is the press release, isn't it?
This is the press release.
Oldham Athletic?
Oh, it's Oldham Athletic.
Is it? I don't know.
It is, yes. It says down at the bottom here.
All right. Okay.
Well,
we found out eventually, didn't we?
God. Yeah, we did. What an appalling press release that is by...
Ooh, don't say.
By Chadderton. Come on, guys, tell us where he's come from. But anyway, he was part of Oldham Athletic when they came back into the Football League after a really, really decent playoff campaign. They're now back in the EFL, and Dale has said that it now is the time for a new challenge. He was head of commercial at Chadderton during the club's inaugural season in the North West Counties Premier, where his passion and strategic insight were well recognised and helped progress the club forward. Chairman Bob Sopel said, "We're thrilled to welcome Dale back to Chadderton in this new role. His experience, energy and deep connection to both town and club make him the perfect person to lead us in this new phase. When he was here previously, the impact he had was clear to see. We just wish we could have kept hold of him, but he went on to go do great things at Oldham. But I think it shows our ambition to bring him back to the club." Dale himself said, "Most people know how much the town and its football teams mean to me. The last 12 months at Oldham have been incredible. The promotion, the way we did it, it really was pinch me stuff at times. But when the opportunity came to come back and drive Chadderton forward, and I discussed with my wife the opportunity to have a real impact, and that really excited me. It makes sense for me, my family and my career at this stage." So, it's very, very unusual to have teams at this level having a CEO. Frank?
I think it's becoming... it's happening more and more often. I think,
Okay.
Clubs in the sort of lower echelons of the non-league sort of system are trying to act more professional. They're bringing in psychologists, sports analysts,
they usually
strength and conditioning coaches. They're getting very more professional, aren't they?
They're usually getting them on a retainer though, and these people are usually self-employed. Whereas the CEO, and certainly from the way that this press release has made it sound, this is Dale's full-time job, where he's going to be paid for it. What do you think?
Does it give that implication? Does it?
It seems like it. I mean, given that he was head of commercial and business development management for Oldham, who themselves may be a non-league club but still are professional in their own right, really, aren't they? It sounds like he's made the jump to full-time work.
Well, listen, he may very well have done so, because what we do know is we're a really, really well-run club with a big sort of junior section and youth section behind it as well. You can generate enough money to have some kind of community. What would you call them? What are they normally called these days? The community support.
Community officers.
Community, yeah. Somebody's trying to ring me to the jury. I know, yeah, it often happens. But listen, if you can hear it, I do apologise. But yeah, where were we? Sorry.
Chadderton.
Yeah. So listen, I think we've had community liaison officers that have been able to be supported by the council financially as well. So we don't know really where the money is coming from. I often ask the question, how far can a club like Chadderton go? And then if you look a little bit deeper into it, you look at the fact that there's a population of 38,000 people there, similar to Skem. So, it's got a decent population, so it could probably support a football club higher up the non-league ladder.
Yes, it could. I mean, it's a sub-district of Oldham in much the same way that Droylsden is a sub-district of Manchester in its own right, really. Yeah. So it's got an enormous kind of catchment area around it. The Oldham District Football League. It's got Abbey Hay and Droylsden both on its doorstep. It's got Ramsbottom a little bit further up the road. So there's no reason at all why it can't have be part of really good competition and have really good success in itself.
Yeah, and of course, if you're trying to run a club as well as they're obviously trying to run theirs, then you've got a situation where we know now non-league football is under more scrutiny and better licensing. We're trying to protect community-run football clubs. Yeah. This seems to be a really well run organisation now. We spoke to Carl Taylor. I think he's one of the managers, isn't he?
Yes,
Joint managers at Chadderton. We spoke about the £1.3 million, I think it was, that came into the club.
Yeah.
I think it was from the Lionesses Fund, which is that they've managed to build a 3G pitch. Yeah. So they're going in the right direction. Just ask the question how far they can go. I don't think there's a line above where we think that anybody can go. I think there's a natural level for everyone, and I think eventually we'll find is I think they'll be in the Northern Premier League before too long.
I think you're probably right. Obviously, they came close in the playoffs to the playoffs last season. They just had a really unfortunate drop-off in form in the new year, whereas they've hit the ground running in the Premier Division this time around. 3 wins from their opening 4 games, a record only beaten by Ramsbottom with 3 wins and a draw, and Padiham sitting atop with 4 straight wins.
We'll come to all of that a little bit later in the show, but you can forgive them last season because they were ground hopping. They were playing not just at Avril, they were playing at 1 or 2 other places as well when they had to. So it had been a really, really difficult season for them. I think you mentioned the fact that they'd lost the player to Berry,
Lewis Simon,
and he's come back now.
He has, yes.
So that's strengthened their hold again, hasn't it, in terms of what they're doing and moving forward. It's a great story, and of course when we look at that and the support they're obviously getting from not just only the Lionesses Fund, you would think locally they're getting support from the council.
I think you're probably right
as well. They're getting it's become a real big local community. It's got a good vibe about it right now, isn't it? And you just wish it all the best. I think. It's a great journey to be on now. Whether you're volunteering, you're a season ticket holder, or you're just simply grabbing the occasional ticket to watch the occasional game. I think it's great.
I think you're absolutely right. I think there's only really positives to come out of Chadderton this season, regardless of where they finish up in the league. So we're going to.
What did we say in terms of where did we think they were playoffs potential?
I think we said that Chadderton would be in the playoffs. Yeah. So I think they're on course for that now, but so are a lot of teams. So all we can do really is wish them all the best.
Yeah, which moves us on to Marine. Obviously our landlords for the next season.
Yes, they are.
They've managed to smash through the 500 barrier of season tickets sold. Yeah. Now, prior to their FA Cup Third round match against Spurs during the COVID season, if you like. Their average gate was around about 350 mark. So it's great to see how far the club has come since those days.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, in that sort of era and under the stewardship of Chairman Paul Leary, the club was always very well run.
Yeah.
So it's great to see their current success and long may it continue. We had James Leary, Paul's son, on the show last season, and if you remember, they've got plans to move to a 5,000 capacity stadium in Edge Lane, Thornton. And they've recently announced the signing of experienced EFL striker Ash Hunter. The 29-year-old joins the Mariners after leaving Accrington Stanley this summer, having made over 300 appearances across Leagues 1 and 2. And I think when we were discussing where Marine could likely finish in the division, we weren't looking at Ash Hunter at the time.
We certainly weren't looking at.
So it strengthens their hand a little bit.
Well, yeah, absolutely does. I mean, they had a bit of a gap in the market to fill because Bobby Grant left. Well, he didn't leave; he retired and went into the manager's seat.
Stepped sideways.
Exactly, he did. So having Ash Hunter in there is an amazing grab. He may have been experienced with over 300 appearances across League 1 and 2, but he's only 29. He still has an awful lot more to give, and he's dropped down 2 divisions to join Marine, which I think is an absolute coup for them. And I think, if they start and continue the season the way they finished the last one, I wouldn't rule out a charge on the playoffs. Really.
What I like about Marine is it's a very community spirited football club, like I say, well organised, and then when you look at press releases, they celebrate the fact that they brought the likes of Ash Hunter to the club, but they also talk about the appointment of a bar and events manager, and they've managed to secure the appointment of Jack Barton as the club's bar and events manager.
Okay.
Jack is a regular face within the crowd, so he's been a supporter for a number of seasons. He's Crosby based and experienced in the licensed trade, having managed pubs for Green King. So everything that they celebrate about the football club is not just about it's not just about Bobby Grant, and it's not just about Ash Hunter or any other players that come to the club. It's about everybody that's involved within the football club, and that's to be celebrated.
Oh yeah, very much so. I think we spoke to Paul Leary when we played our first game at the Marine Travel Arena against a select Marine 11, and it was quite easy to see how much of a family feel that Marine had. Looking around the ground, people were just engaging with one another, whether they were Skem fans or Marine fans. We went to the bar just outside the stadium after full time, and it was packed to the rafters with Marine fans who'd just been to the game. So it is very community based, and I think having the bar right next to the stadium is a really, really good catchment for prospective fans and current fans as well. It's all part of the wider picture that Marine are selling.
It just needs sunny weather all year round, doesn't it? What a setup! What is it? The 1850. What?
The 1872, I think.
Is it 1872 or whatever it is? I mean, we might be sort of aging the club a little bit there, but whatever the name of it. Listen, you can Google that while we're talking.
Yeah.
But it's certainly it's a wonderful setup. We were sat out before the game in the blazing sunshine, and I got severe sunburn on my head, my bald head.
You need to start wearing a hat to these things, Franklin.
But everything about it was just. It's non-league, the quintessential non-league setup.
Properly.
Really, really well organised, well sort of supported now, particularly now more than ever.
Yeah.
You just wonder whether when they do eventually move to Edge Lane, whether it'll still have the same character and warmth. But then if you look at Everton and their new stadium,
well, yeah,
everybody's singing the praises.
Everyone is singing the praises. Yeah, apparently there's a bridge that's apparently making life a little bit difficult because you've got to filter down to get over that bridge. But otherwise, I think we're really looking forward to seeing how that stadium's going to pan out with Jack Grealish now wearing the Toffees shirt.
What do you make of that?
I think that's the right move for him. It's a club where he can sit in the number 10 role. He can take centre stage. He's a name signing, but he's got the talent in the Premier League to go with it as well. And I think he will be in his element there, being like the lead role, if you like, the marquee signing in amongst the hard grafters in the rest of the Everton blue.
And he's a proper number 10. I think Everton have not had an out-and-out number 10 since the days of Duncan McKenzie. Not that you'll remember him, but you might remember his name. No, you don't even remember his name. But he was famous for high jumping over minis at Goodison Park.
Okay.
Yeah. What? He was also a guest at one of our sportsman's dinners back in our Stormy Corner days.
Back in the day, huh?
Yeah, fantastic fella. I think he smoked about 40 cigarettes
Sounds about
as
right.
well.
So yeah,
I don't know whether he still smokes like that.
For me, I think the number 10s that you probably go back to during my era are Landon Donovan and Tim Cahill. I think Tim Cahill was probably the number 10 of kind of my Everton years, and still regarded as an absolute legend of the club. Is Tim Cahill, and I bet those corner flags don't miss him beating them whenever he scored a goal.
Yeah, and looking at the actual ground, I think they're trying to make it as intimidating as it was at Goodison Park as well, which could play a major role in what happens. Where can you see them going this season? Can you see them doing?
I think they need a few more signings to go into the squad. I think there's not been any major departures, has there? They kept Branthwaite, they kept Pickford. I think Ndiaye they kept as well.
A really good player, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got the makings of a really strong squad there. They probably only really need one or two in order to kind of complement all of this. And I think one of those is obviously going to be a striker that they need. But defensively...
Well, we've got a striker, haven't we? We've got... how's his first name pronounced? But Barry. Is it Tierno?
Sure.
Tierno.
Uh-huh.
Barry. So we've got him from Villarreal.
Okay.
We've got Kieran Dewsbury Hall, central midfielder.
Yeah.
We've also probably see the best maybe of Carlos Alcaraz this season as well. So it looks... Listen, but what we do know is everybody's strengthened up everywhere, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
We spoke about it last week. Liverpool and Manchester United have had a really good transfer window.
And I don't
think Man City
they may not necessarily be over either for Liverpool, Man City, or United as far as players coming in through the door is concerned, really. As for Everton, I think if they finish mid-table, sort of.
That's what I was going to say to you. What's a good finish for them? 11th.
Yeah, I was thinking sort of between
11th, 12th.
12th, I think is that's maybe right. If they get anywhere in the top 10, I think that's a good season.
But they could be the surprise package because we know what Moyes has done in his first stint at Everton, and took them as far as the Champions League.
Yeah, got them.
And nobody was expecting it that season.
No, got him into the top 4, got him into the FA Cup final.
I think it might be a little bit too early for that.
Maybe.
But I think he's going through his first proper season since he's come back, and I think he'll go from strength to strength. And what we do know is that he's good at tinkering around in the transfer market, and even better he was at the loans market as well.
Yeah.
So I think it could be a decent season for Everton. I think they could be the surprise package like we had Leicester. I don't think they'll go as far as Leicester did a few years ago where they won the league, but I think they might be. If you're looking at one team that's going to shock anybody,
Everton might be that.
Yeah, definitely could be that.
I think you're probably right on all accounts. I can't really see any other team kind of shocking or being dark horses in the way that Everton are.
No.
Right, we will move on. I think so. Needham Market. So you picked this up.
Yeah, I don't know a great deal about Needham Market. I've been to Needham, I think, back in a long time ago. But they've managed to secure a 6-figure sum for a new project, and they're building a stand with it. So if you want to sort of enlighten me a little bit more on that.
Yeah, of course. So they've received £100,000 after members of Mid Suffolk District Council agreed to the funding at its meeting on Tuesday. The councillors are considering the funding for a new stand in the latest round of community infrastructure levy funding, which is they're giving money to local businesses and local structures to make them better.
Yeah.
And Needham Market have said that work will soon be underway as the allocation is used to construct a new 285-seater stand with terrace seating, accessible toilets and a lift. Plans at the club also include installing an 8-bike eco-shelter as well. Dave Clark, the CEO at Needham Market FC, said, "We are very grateful for the grant, which enables this exciting project to commence. Many thanks to all who made it happen. Although the financial injection doesn't fully fund the project, the award covers almost half of the total cost, and the club also benefited from £10,000 in capital grants earlier in the year." Councillor Andrew Stringer, the Cabinet Member for Heritage Planning and Infrastructure at the District Council, said, "This is a great example of how the funding can be used to improve existing infrastructure and create lasting benefits in our district. Needham Market FC's development will not only enhance the matchday experience for fans, but will also help contribute to the growth of the club and wider community. I will be looking forward to seeing the new stand in action and the opportunities it brings to the area in the future." Well, all positive at Needham Market there.
Yeah, it's definitely positive, and with the help of the district council as well, it's refreshing to see that that they're getting support from those areas. In terms of what they're doing so far, their opening game of the season, they lost 4-0 to Harbour Town away from home, a sort of bad result for them to start off with.
Yeah.
But at home, the most recent match, they managed to get a 0-0 draw with a Real Bedford, or Real Bedford, whatever you want to call them. But we talked about them, the cryptocurrency club.
Yeah.
It is cryptocurrency, isn't
It is cryptocurrency indeed, yeah. I've forgotten his name, but he's supported by the
Peter McCormick
and the Winklevoss brothers, yeah, which I think sounds like a 1980s prog rock band, really.
It does.
Peter McCormick and the Winklevoss brothers.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think where they finished last.
If I remember, they were just above the relegation zone in the... oh, no, they weren't. They were relegated from the National League North.
Right.
Yeah, so they play in the Southern League Premier Division Central.
Yeah. So, listen, it's a good sign, isn't it? Because they're moving forward, even though they've been relegated last season. So, good news all round for Needham Market. Unfortunately, we go and revisit the Morecambe story, which is a little bit more disheartening, really.
Disheartening is the word, yeah.
And I've been listening to a lot. I can't remember the name of the woman from Shrimps Trust, but she's been quite. Is it Michelle Adamson?
Yeah, that might be.
Oh
right,
no, that's
yeah.
that's the person that took the photograph. Forget that. But the issue with Morecambe now is the owner has now claimed that there's a flurry of interest in buying the club, while criticising the new would-be purchaser at the same time.
Yeah.
Bond Group Investments, Jason Whittingham broke a 15-day silence on Monday, 48 hours after the Shrimps should have started the new season.
Yeah.
Morecambe's owner has spoken for the first time in more than a fortnight. I'm repeating myself, but Whittingham's latest statement comes 9 days before the club's future is set to be decided by the National League Compliance and Licensing Committee. It doesn't look good, does it?
No, it doesn't. It's really disappointing that Jason Whittingham is, from what it looks like, he is dragging this out as much as he can do. He may very well say that there are a number of potential buyers to secure the future of Morecambe Football Club. Well, why are we not hearing about it? Why is the deal not over the line yet? If you haven't got Punjab Warriors in there, who have you got? Who are you speaking to about this? There's no secrecy in who buys a football club or who is interested in buying a football club. So why is the information not readily available? And
quite weirdly, his previous statement was on the 27th of July when he urged Punjab Warriors to make contact and complete a sale, while claiming continual negative press statements had caused concern to the reported Johnny Cato-led consortium. Yeah. It doesn't... I mean... What I would ask, and I'm always playing devil's advocate, is there any grounds for sympathy towards Jason Whittingham at all?
No, I don't.
Because we've had this situation with Frickley Athletic as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
Farsley Celtic.
Farsley Celtic, yeah. So in that one though, if you remember, Paul Barthorpe was quite forthcoming with statements that he was putting out. They all sang to the same consistent tune. I think he'll probably accept that he made some quite substantial errors in the running of the club.
But he didn't hold on to power the same way that Jason seems to be doing in this
situation.
No,
he hasn't. And I think that's the sort of the major issue at play here, is that for all the statements that he might very well be making, he's not actually he's not actually brought anything of solidity to it. No. And you remember, he was actually part of the consortium that owned Worcester Warriors Rugby Union Club, who also went out of business and folded under his stewardship. Now, he was still involved with Morecambe at the time that Worcester went under, but nonetheless, it's a bit of a red alarm, if you like, a red alert to how he conducts his sporting business.
Yeah. So he's gone on record as saying, we continue to work with a number of potential buyers to secure the future of Morecambe Football Club, all of whom are aware of the urgency of the club's position and fully expect this process to complete this week. There has been a flurry of interest over the last month, and each potential buyer has been given the required information and support in order to finalise their intention and plans towards the club and the community. This includes Punjab Warriors, who unfortunately continue to issue statements that bear no relevance to the actual facts, are unhelpful and quite frankly bemusing. That said, we have agreed to a mediation meeting with Punjab for this Wednesday, which is today, and we await them confirmed final details.
So maybe there is a little bit of light on the horizon. The final part of the statement says, despite Punjab's recent comments, it was Bond Group that formally invited Punjab to mediation but received no response from them. Which that's all really irritating when you look at it, because it's each side playing he said, she said. You know, they're both saying that the opposite one has made some statement that is bemusing, that they're not communicating in a particularly helpful manner, and both of them just should really be embarrassed by this, because this is such a bad look when you are trying to sell a club or buy a club. And how many fans are going to be looking at this exchange between the two consortiums and think, my God, how immature do you want to be? What do you think?
Oh, well, I think it's all very sad for the supporters. Obviously, they're left in pretty much in limbo.
Yep.
A lot of clubs around the area have been very benevolent towards them, Bury being one. And play platitudes towards them for inviting all Morecambe season ticket holders to come and watch Bury in the meantime, which is good, and I think that was extended further afield as well, wasn't it? I think
Garstang covered it as well. There was one more team that I think it may have been Thornton Cleveland's. I'm not 100% sure, but there was another team that extended the.
It was, I think it was Thornton Cleveland's, yeah. So Shrimps Trust, they go on trying to raise money, and I would imagine a last sort of ditch attempt to whenever this is sorted out, that they've got a few bob in the bank to play with. Yeah,
I think you're right.
It's always difficult though when you talk about involving the Prime Minister or even the MPs such as Lisa and Andy. I don't really know what they can. I don't really what they can do.
All they can do at the really minute is just kind of exercise their voice.
And that's what Whittingham has said, that none of these people have made any effort to contact Bond Group in order to discuss the situation directly, but instead use their platforms to spread inaccurate information, which is irresponsible and has affected the sale process. You really don't know.
No, you sort of don't have much of an idea as to how much belief there is in what they're saying, and how much they're actually willing to, open all lines of communication with the other side. And if we're getting MPs involved again, it just looks all the more embarrassing, really, because MPs don't tend to get in unless it's really, really serious. But even then, does this look really, really serious? It only really looks really serious, and I'll use the word really one more time, against the fans and anyone connected with Morecambe FC.
Yeah. Listen, we've been compared to Morecambe FC this week as well.
Have we?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. I think somebody kindly said the opposite as well, and said that the difference between a multi-millionaire running a football club and a chairman that's got 5 bob, 10 bob. Listen, I've doubled it. A great deal of money, but dipping into the pockets, the people that have done for the football club.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult to compare us to Morecambe.
It is. Yeah.
Did we find out who actually owns the stadium? Is it Bond Investments? Have we got a similar Berry situation going on here? We keep saying we want to get somebody on from Shrimps Trust, and we will make sure. Listen, we won't just go rabbiting on about something, because the narrative is changing every hour, every day. But what we do know is now it's coming to that crucial moment where I think if somebody doesn't pull a rabbit out of the bag now, I don't think they're going to be competing this season, and that will be really, really tragic for all those supporters. Yeah,
I think it will be, and a lot of history lost in the process as well. I mean, Morecambe FC means so much to the people of that town. I'm a regular visitor to that town, and I know how much football means to the people who live there. As Tyson Fury said, it's not really close to anything. And he's probably correct in that regard. It sits as a coastal town all of its own. There's not really any neighbouring communities on the coastline around. So all the people look to as the centre hub is Morecambe Football Club. And so preservation, like for most football clubs from that kind of area, League 2 and down, need to really be preserved. As we know, Skelmersdale as a town, the football club is at the heart of it, or was until we were forced to leave. So preservation is everything.
But far too often now, we're sort of coming up with the same stories, aren't we, about football clubs falling on hard times? Yeah, we are. We covered Farsley Celtic so much last season. We've covered Morecambe this season. I mean, our own struggles have been well publicised. Bury have been one who have fallen on hard times. Droylsden are another. The Bamber Bridge story about them having to raise 30,000 just from a GoFundMe page. Things like this are utterly ludicrous, really. But I mean, does it show a problem within football? There's definitely a problem with it in football overall. I mean, we talk about the greed in football, certainly in the higher levels, and it doesn't sort of sprinkle down to the lower echelons, and that is a worry in itself. But then we don't have a divine right to be in business, any of us. You know what I mean? We've got to work hard at it.
Yeah.
We will come to this at the end of the show in terms of protecting our legacy, what we're doing in order to do that. But when you look at clubs where you've got multi-millionaire backers, then you'd expect a little bit more of it. I know it was nice to see, and I don't know whether it was. I think Farhad Bashiri, the former chairman of, the former owner of Everton Football Club, was at the game, the Legends Stroke Friendly Roma game on Saturday. It was nice to see him back at the ground. I think it was, unless I've seen a mocked up version of his face.
He seems like he was there, yeah. Do you think his legacy's...
His legacy will be the Hill Dickinson, whatever stadium it's called, the Bramley Moor Dock Stadium. His legacy will be that he managed to get that over the line. You can't grumble over that. That man's done that work. He did the legwork for that.
He also, put in ludicrous amounts of money into
You
signings.
didn't get it right. You know what? None of us are perfect.
No. It's just interesting to see.
If we were all perfect, we'd all be winning.
Yeah.
And you can't have winners. You have to have... And this is the thing about football. You've got to have losers. If you're going to have winners, you've got to have losers. And if you've got 24 teams in a league, there's only one winner. And that's the team that finishes on the top. And then, you can talk about the playoffs and who wins the playoffs. And maybe there's another winner. And you might win the odd cup competition, but there's very few. And the accolades are very few and far between.
I think you're probably right.
The majority of clubs in every division are always fighting another day, another season. And by the grace of God, goals.
I think fair enough. It's just interesting to see from an Everton perspective just what you feel his legacy stands for. Obviously, for Morecambe FC, Jason Whittingham's will be mired in controversy and how he nearly took the club to the brink. But for Farhad Moshiri, he didn't. He got plenty right off the pitch, just maybe not things right on it. But you're right.
Well, listen, we'll park the bus on that one. Hopefully. The Bond Investment Group won't park the bus. You're not quite finished there, sorry?
No, I'm finished with Everton. I've just got one more final bit of news to provide, really, which is that Gary.
Is this breaking news?
To a degree.
Breaking news here on the Speaking Frankly Football Show.
There we go. So, Gary Taylor-Fletcher, the ex-Leicester City and AFC Blackpool centre-forward, who stepped down recently from his role as manager of AFC Crewe after 3 years in the job, has now picked up his football boots again, and he is now going to be playing for Alsager Town.
How old is he?
He's 38.
Oh, right. They're playing longer and longer, these lads, aren't they?
I mean, they really are. I mean, compared to Kevin Ellison, I think
he's a spring chicken. Isn't
Gary Taylor-Fletcher is a spring chicken by all accounts, but nonetheless, he's picked up his boots, dusted them down, and he's playing for Alsager Town now.
I watched the highlights of the Everton friendly, the sort of Legends match before that, and Leighton Baines is still he's one cracking player.
Is he?
Oh yeah, I think he can still do a job for us.
You still think he could do a job if Carlos Alcaraz is not working out at left back? I tell you who did the job as well for Everton. It was absolutely stunning to see him because I thought he'd been 70 since about 2003. Peter Reid.
Yeah, he's always looked old, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He managed Sunderland 22 years ago and he was white-haired then. Yeah. I think he was greying in 1985 when he played in the cup final against United.
And of course, I've told you this before, he is my second cousin, for all those that don't know.
Where's his money going into Skem?
Oh, well, I don't speak to him. I've not ever spoke directly to him. He's off from my mother's side of the family. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think a lot of my mum, certainly with the blokes, were always prematurely going grey. So I think it's in the genes on the Irish side of the family.
So are you saying that if you weren't bald, you would be grey at 20?
Well, I had this discussion. We were talking about. I've got to be careful what I say here, but we were talking about being bald on Tuesday's training session, and I actually said to Barney, I said, listen, I know I look bald, I said, but I shave every day. I could grow a full, and I've mentioned it on the show before, I'm sure I have, I could grow a full head of hair if I so wished. And a couple of, over a year ago, about 18 months ago, I started growing my hair gradually, and I started having a bit of a beard and moustache like yourself there. And I decided, for the first time I'd let my hair grow, I could actually see grey. I didn't like it, so shaved that up. But what I did keep was, I kept the rest of my beard and my moustache, and I looked like John Travolta.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like...
John Travolta in Grease or John Travolta in From Paris with Love?
Yeah, obviously.
There you go. That one where he's...
He's still a good-looking chap.
Yeah, I suppose so. He's done quite well, but you can tell he's probably had a transplant or two.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen, you can, on all social media, you can find my email address if you want to send any fan letters and you requested pictures. And somewhere along the line, I've got a picture of me with a beard and moustache. I'll show you it after the show.
There you go. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, so listen, we parked the bus on Morecambe and we wish them all the best and hope they get things going again.
We really do.
But we're going to look at the North West Counties first of all and the results over the weekend. We've already discussed in the pre-show show that AJ struggled with his predictions.
I didn't struggle with my predictions. I just didn't do as well as you did.
I know. Okay, well listen. We'll go to the... Where do we start? We normally start with the Premier Division, don't we? So we'll start with the Premier Division. And so Saturday the 9th of August, as it was, Chadderton managed to batter South Liverpool 7-2. An amazing victory for them. Yeah,
it absolutely was. I think it shows, again, how much they are set to be title chasers. Again, this year, Lewis Simon Byrne back in the red of Chadderton, helping himself to a hat-trick. Benito Lowe alongside him there, grabbing a double as they walloped South Liverpool.
Two great players, by the way.
Oh, very good players indeed. Absolutely dominating this division. 7 goals in front of a capacity crowd of 161 at their new ground.
They're just not getting the crowds that they deserve, really.
They aren't. From a crowd of 38, a population of around 38,000 people in there. You would rather hope that more people would be interested in seeing Chadderton play at this new venue.
But if they keep the victories going, then you'd like to think that those gates will increase, won't they?
Absolutely you would. I mean, it was all the more interesting that the game was actually 2-2 at half time.
Oh, right.
And then Chadderton just completely opened the taps in the second half. Byrne grabbing a second half hat trick to get his side well underway.
So an avalanche of goals in the second half have secured all the 3 points for them. Listen, we'll come to the midweek games that were played last night and we'll discuss them in a little bit, but we'll go through the rest of the results there. I don't know whether it was a dark horse for you or it was for me now, but Charnock Richard got beaten by Earlham by 5-3.
Yeah.
But that was another surprising one, wasn't it? Because...
A little. Charnock Richard are a bit of an inconsistent team. They've got a couple of really good players in a squad that probably flatters to deceive, unfortunately. Whereas Earlham, we knew they were powerhouses at home, but they've actually started to improve things away from home as well. Their away form is 2 wins, no draws, no losses, 8 goals.
Well, they had
scored.
a midweek victory over FC Element, and we'll come to the FC Element because they've not really had a particularly good start. But interestingly, looking at that game there, it was 4-3 to Earlham at half time, so it was just that one goal. It was a really tight game in the second half. Amazing to have 7 goals in the first half and just 1 in the second. I mean, the managers must have really had a real good pop at the defence.
I think so. And actually, when you consider that 3 of the goals were scored within a 2-minute window between the 23rd and the 25th minute, that makes it all the more weird to see why the defence are leaking so consistently.
Yeah. Listen, we'll segue to both here because we've just been talking about Chadderton and midweek they went and visited Barnoldswick Town and they battered them 6-0 as well. Lewis Simon Byrne scoring a couple of goals. Benito Lowe on the score sheet again. Adam Dale also. So listen, they're doing extremely well. Looking at Cheadletown versus AFC Liverpool, Cheadletown beat them 2-0. They had a draw against the City of Liverpool midweek, but a relatively good start for them. The opposite to that is that AFC Liverpool have had a really poor start. Yeah,
well, we knew this from the last season that they had, where they lost almost as many games as they won, but they still managed to finish in the top 10. It just looks like they're going off the same track this time around. So they've played 4 games and they've just managed one single solitary point, which was the draw away from home. Their goal difference is quite leaky already. -7 from from 4 games. So they've got to arrest that slide sooner rather than later.
Well, battered midweek, 5-1 at home to FC St Helens. So
yeah.
their first game at Bootle didn't go particularly well, did it?
No, it didn't. FC St Helens coming down the A57 and running riot a little bit. 2 goals from Josh Briggs and 2 more from Tom McNamara, putting FC St Helens and Mike Smith well on their way to a really comfortable victory over AFC Liverpool. So probably says more about FC St Helens than it does about AFC Liverpool right there.
And looking at City of Liverpool, have had an equally disappointing start. 2 draws and 2 defeats. Absolutely battered, annihilated by Atherton LR. So well done to Davy Jones, a friend of the show. He's managed to get off the mark. I know they had that good win in the FA Cup, but up to that point they'd lost the first 2 games of the season. They managed to get off the mark there, so well done to them.
It was 2 challenging games though, to be fair to them. I think one was Ramsbottom and I think the other one was Padiham. So you could be forgiven for losing against those 2 teams, as most teams within that division probably will, but nonetheless, he's got his team off the mark. Cal Hunter with 2 goals, Tom Romano with 2 goals as well, both to add to really decent finishes to the season last year for the men in yellow. As for City of Liverpool, they followed up that 6-0 defeat at home to LR with a quite creditable draw against Cheadle Town. A Andy Manjoba penalty 20 minutes from time, securing them a point in South Manchester.
Yeah, moving on to the FC Isle of Man, which we mentioned before. They've only managed to get 1 point out of 4 games. So the defeats continue. Richard Brodie managed to get off the mark. 3-2 win there against them away from home. So congratulations to another friend of the show. And they managed to get a good midweek draw against Wythenshawe at home, and I think Richard Brodie's gone on record as saying this was a character building draw.
I think you're probably
right. It
right.
was a positive rather than a negative.
Yeah, I mean, despite Wythenshawe's shaky start to the to life back in the Northwest Counties, we've still got to remember that they were relegated, but they have kept a large chunk of the squad that was relegated last season. Glossop North End and Richard had a bit of a difficult end to last season. I think they finished about 16th or 17th by the end of the season. A good crowd number though, 277 turning out on a Tuesday night to see a 2-2 draw between the 2 teams. All goals coming in the first half as well. So I think
and Lewis Riley just keeps popping up with goals all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. So he scored in the win over FC Isle of Man. Popped up with another one in that draw against Wythenshawe. That's 2 in 2 games for him now, and I think it's 3 overall for him at North End.
Yeah, so looking at Glossop, the middle of the table, early doors, but 5 points. So that's 3 games undefeated, 1 game, just the 1 loss at the moment. So not bad.
No, not bad at all.
That's something to build on, I think.
Encouraging start for Richard, most certainly.
Yeah. Moving on to Litherland against Barnoldswick. Barnoldswick managed to get a 3-1 win, which got them off the mark because they, up to that point, had lost all their previous games.
It took a double from Gareth Hill, one after 14 minutes and then one on the stroke of half time to put them 3-1 up at half time, and they saw out the game with the same scoreline in front of 76 fans on that Saturday afternoon, and then
back to losing ways, wasn't it, on Tuesday when they got battered by Chadderton, which we just spoke about before.
Yeah, turning up against a really informed Chadderton team and being unfortunately steamrolled by 6-0. So again, another difficult start for Barnoldswick, leakiest defence in the division, and 1 win just to celebrate there, but then a defeat sort of returning them back to the doldrums.
But a relatively decent start for Remy, really, because they've got 4 points out of 3 games.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I think Remy. I think people
they struggled last season, didn't they?
They did struggle last season, particularly towards the end of the season. And like I say, they lost 3-1 to Barnoldswick. They didn't play in the midweek games on Tuesday night, so we should imagine that they will be in action at the weekend.
So it was a shock start for. I mean, we've got to talk about Longridge first, but Longridge lost on Saturday to Wythenshawe by 1-0. Wythenshawe, as we mentioned before, managed a 2-2 draw with Glossop. And looking at Longridge in midweek, they lost to Bearscough, which we'll come to in a minute as well. Any shocks there for you so far? Wythenshawe, the first game, they got off to a really bad start, didn't they?
They were hammered 5-0 by Pilks, I think it was.
I know, which is another shock one because Pilks have not done particularly well since then.
They've not kicked on, unfortunately.
But they've had 2 wins and 2 losses, haven't they?
They have, but the 2 losses will probably be a little bit more concerning, largely in the manner of them, but also the opposition themselves. They lost 4-2 at home to Abbey Hay, new signing Bobby Carter, the former AFC Blackpool man, getting off the mark with 2 goals for the Hay there. As they won by 4-2 in front of a crowd of 57 at Pilks. And then they followed that on with a 4-0 loss away at Charnock Richard. Not a particularly easy place to go is Charnock Richard, but you would think that given the pre-season and the start to the season that Pilks had, that they would be expecting to kick on far more than leaking 8 goals in 2 games.
Yeah, and Abbey Hay, as you were talking about there, midweek, they've had a good win on Saturday, but lost to Ramsbottom on the Tuesday night, which was getting back to winning ways for them because they could only manage a draw against FC St Helens. I'd ask the question, what does it say about FC St Helens and how strong they are this season?
Well, I think it says plenty about them. I mean, we saw that they had playoff mettle, if you like. They were in the running up until about February, but they just trailed off, unfortunately, and finished 7th overall. They've made a good start to this season. Tom McNamara getting the goal against Ramy on Saturday, and then he's followed that up with 2 more in that steamrollering of AFC Liverpool. And I think between him and Josh Briggs, there is a strike partnership to be feared there. So definitely watch out for the red and white stripes of FC St Helens.
Yeah, which moves us on to Stockport Town versus Padiham. Padiham managed a 2-1 win, and then if you look into the Tuesday night, they managed a 2-0 win over Exton Villa. They're getting reasonably decent gates at home there, a 328 game for the win over Exton Villa, and they're only team now that have got maximum points out of the first 4 games. So looking really, really solid. It's a hell of a solid start for Paddy.
It really is, yeah. I mean, we knew that they were going to be contenders for promotion last season. So this season, having made the playoff final, last season losing 2-0 to Lower Breck in the final, but they've kicked on from where they left off. They entered into a crowd of 252 away at Stockport Town at the weekend, and then a home game against Exton Villa, 328 over in East Lancashire, to see them win 2-0 against Villa.
You have the impression that Exton Villa, once they found the feet a little bit, they'll do a little bit better, but they're just finding the feet at the moment, you think?
Oh yeah, of course they are. I mean, they're newly promoted, and actually the 2 teams that got promoted from the First Division North last season are sitting back to back. Atherton LR in 17th, Exton Villa in 18th. Same amount of points. It's just goal difference that's holding Exton Villa back. Obviously losing to Padiham 2-0 in midweek after a quite wonderful game at the weekend away at West Didsbury and Chadderton.
An amazing gate there, 786.
786 turning out. So we know that West Didsbury can command a big audience of between 500 and 700 anyway. But Exton Villa seem to have got a really big following themselves, and that's taken them up to a really good turnout down in southwest Manchester. So Jordan Laysbury carrying on from where he left off with a hat-trick for West Didsbury, but Raj Uppal, who was a crucial figure, Scam lad, crucial figure in their playoff final run last season. He scored 2 second-half goals to snatch to snatch the 3 points away from West Didsbury and ensure that each team came away with a point apiece.
I always felt as though Raj had potential to play much higher up the non-league ladder, and he's certainly scoring goals again.
Yeah, he certainly is. I mean, he scored 2 in midweek. Last weekend. Then I think he scored about 5 goals in the final 7 games towards the tail end of the regular season last season. Keep hold of him, and I don't think Exton will have any problem surviving.
So West Didsbury, they've played 3 games. They've lost 1. They've drawn 1. They've won 1. They're getting really good home crowds.
Yeah, which we could expect, really.
Yeah, as long as they don't get great opposition to the smell of pies and burgers, they should be okay. I think that. Do you think that you can't really call that a slow start, can you? One defeat, 1 win, and a draw. But I think their season will definitely gather momentum. I don't know whether the sort of the crowd, the intimidation of the crowd at home will give them an advantage, and maybe says more about what Exton Villa are capable of doing this season after a slow start.
Oh, I think so. I mean, if you look at where Exton are on the map, they've got a really good catchment area because they've got Chorley, they've got Leyland, they've got Preston, as a major hub. They've got the town of Exton itself. They've got some really good catchment areas for players there. And
they've just got to win a game now, haven't they? They've drawn 3, lost 1. They've just got to get off the mark.
As soon as they get off the mark, I think that'll be it. I think they'll kick on. They were the surprise package.
Well, let's see who they're playing when we get to the fixtures, and we'll predict exactly where they're going with that one. So moving on to First Division North. Listen, we'll sort of pace a little bit through this.
Yep.
McGull up in the top sort of playoff positions, done extremely well with a 2-1 win away from home at AFC Blackpool. That's always a good victory.
It really is, yeah. AFC Blackpool's a really difficult place to go at the best of times, but McGull turned up there. Harrison Wood and Nathan Moffat goals either side of half-time, securing 3 points for the Merseyside team there. Ashton Town beating Daisy Hill and Aaron Hunt fame by 2-1 to get off the mark. New signing Daniel Squires with his first goal for the club, and Noah Inne retaking the lead for Ashton after Chad White's first goal for Daisy Hill got them off the mark. Good crowd turning out at Ashton, 240 to see that result there. Cone, a very messy result for them, losing 5-2 away at New Boys Fulwood Amateurs. Fulwood with their
first win of the season.
Their first win of the season. Spencer Lucas with a hat-trick there to help the New Boys from North Preston to a really good win against the recently relegated Cone. Garstang snatched a really good victory there, a 2-1 win at the Riverside Stadium over Droylsden.
Yeah, well, our friend and ex-manager, I shouldn't say old really, but Tommy Lawson was at that game.
Was he?
Yeah, I asked him the question, what can Garstang do this season? And he said that they're decent enough. They're not going to be. They don't look as though they're going to be relegation fodder.
Wow! Now that's a major turnaround, considering they lost 2 of their really good players over the summer. But they've really kicked on. To be fair to them, I know it's early days, but they're sitting 7th with 4 points from their opening 3 games. So 1 win and.
1 win and a draw.
1 win and a draw, thank you.
Yeah.
Really good result for them, but a poor turnout for Droylsden there. They'll have been expecting better from that game. Holker Old Boys, I
didn't see that result coming in.
Well, their charge up the table that we thought might happen was brought to a crashing halt by Steeton, who
they're doing well, to be fair. 2 wins and a draw.
For Holker or for Steeton?
For Steeton, so Steeton are doing well.
Steeton are doing very well. So they followed up the draw against. It was the win against Ashton Town. Pardon me, with a win over Holker Old Boys. Lewis Gartland and Mbako Chalashika grabbing the second half goals in Cumbria to see them back over to West Yorkshire with all 3 points. Main Road absolutely showing MSB Walton that life in this division can be really difficult with a 5-0 win at home. So MSB Walton lost where we won last season. Louis Williams grabbing 2 goals to set them on their way to a big win for the Sky Blues.
Darwin not exactly setting the sort of league alight either. They managed to lose 2-1 at Squires Gate.
They have, which again was a result that we didn't see coming. We pegged Darwin to do very, very well this season, and they've flattered to deceive. They have, with 1 win and 1 draw from their opening 3 games.
Not a complete disaster, that book.
No, not a complete disaster. They were in they were level pegging up until the 70th minute when Dean Ing scored the winning goal for Squires Gate to seal the 3 points for them.
Listen, let's go top of the league then. I mean, who would have thought that Thornton Cleveland's would be topping that? I know it's early days, but they've managed to accrue 7 points, so that's 2 wins and a draw.
Yeah, it is.
And they managed to beat Ashton Athletic 3-2.
Again,
in front of a decent crowd of 290
fans turning out for Thornton Cleveland's.
I think the locals are buying into it.
I think they really are. Thornton Cleveland's is one of those towns on the northwest coast of England where a lot of
little bit isolated.
It's a little bit isolated, so it's a few miles away from Blackpool, but
from the
lights. But where Blackpool have AFC Blackpool and they've got Squires Gate, both within relative touching distance, Thornton Cleveland's are sort of out there on their own, really. So they managed a 3-2 win over Ashton Athletic. It looked like it was going to be a draw when Emmanuel Ugochukwu grabbed the equaliser for Ashton Athletic in the 90th minute. But just a minute later, Dom Ritchie grabbing the winning goal for Thornton Cleveland's to send their fans into pandemonium and set them top of the table, closely followed by Steeton and McGull, all 3 teams level pegging on 7 points.
Yeah, and we like pandemonium.
We do like pandemonium. It gives us an awful lot more to talk about.
It certainly does. So we're going to move on to Division 1 South.
Yeah, we are.
Any shocks there? I don't know.
Yes, I think there are a few. Foley-Mere versus Market Drayton Town. That went the way of Foley-Mere. Now, we know that they were taken over in the management dugout last season, who managed to steer them away from relegation. But Market Drayton, who had finished in a quite respectable mid-table and were assuming would kick on very much, but it didn't quite happen for them there, as Foley-Mere took a goal either side of half-time to win by 2-0.
And another sort of old friend of the show, Dan Dawson.
Yep.
Not particularly got off to the start he wanted to. First defeat, 2 defeats in the opening games, then managed to get a win last week. The only good thing about what's going on now with the Division 1 North and South is they've not done what they did last season. They've not thrown Saturday and Tuesday games in. And it does make you wonder that had we played the season out the same way, whether we would have fared better. I know it's all hypotheticals, but
it is a lot of hypotheticals, and I don't know if we can get caught up in the what ifs, because we know where we are right now, and
I think they've got it right, the league this time, haven't they? They don't have to push the
agenda. No, they don't. I suppose the biggest shocks kind of came, down the tail end of the league, really. So Telford Town, who moved laterally across after having won their regional league in the central divisions in Staffordshire, beat Sandbach United by 3-0. So we thought that Sandbach, after their really good end to the season when they made the playoffs last year, they'd be favourites to kick on. Hasn't quite happened for them though. Two defeats and one win, and this was probably the most remarkable of the lot. Telford Town winning by 3-0 in front of 135 fans, which isn't too bad at all. But Wolverhampton Casuals, another team that new to the Division One South, beating Alsager Town by 4-1, which sees them rocket up the league table to 10th.
Looks as though Alsager are going to have a difficult season, doesn't it?
Well, Alsager are one of 4 teams at the minute that haven't yet won a game. The others being Camel Laird, Hawkmond and Wolverhampton Sporting Community. Wolverhampton SC, who were given a reprieve by the league at the end of last season to stave off relegation, but have not kicked on the season in the way that they would have hoped to.
In an oddly balanced division with only 19 teams. Say no more. But listen, Runcorn Town, top of the table, 7-0 win against Wolverhampton Sporting Community. You would expect that, but I think the 3 previous wins, we've watched Runcorn Town. They beat us 9-0 in a pre-season friendly. They are looking really, really good, alongside Stafford, of course. Yeah,
they are. We expected Stafford to start the season well, and so they have. They won 4-1 against Barnton. Matthew Hearsey scoring a second half hat-trick. All goals coming in minutes ending in 51, 81 and 91. Whereas Runcorn Town had their own hat-trick hero in Ryan Katumba, grabbing 1 goal in the first half and then 2 more in the second half, as Wolverhampton Sporting Community experienced a second half capitulation and led Runcorn to their biggest win of the season. 17 goals scored in 4 games, with just the 2 conceded. A brilliant start for Runcorn Town there, as they look to set the pace early on and maybe do something serious in that league.
Yeah, and looking at probably the surprise, or what we felt as though might be the surprise package, was going to be Barnton, but they were comfortably battered 4-1 by Stafford Town.
Yeah, they were, and I think that probably says more about Stafford than it does about Barnton, really. You know, Stafford reached 3 domestic cup competition finals, finished 3rd in the league that season. They've got an awful lot of pedigree. I think they were just very much the North West Counties nearly men last season, but I think they've got every single intention of going one better. James May once again on the score sheet for the home team.
And no wisecracks about James May
this week? Nope. Not today.
At least you know I'm listening now.
Quite.
Listen, just go back to Bearscough briefly. I mean, we expected that they had them first 2 draws in their opening game, and then I predicted that Prestwich Hayes might beat Bearscough, but at the same time I predicted that Bearscough are sort of playoff potential. They've managed to get those 2 wins. Started off on Friday, and I think it might have been the return of Dave Dempsey off his holiday that might have marked their first victory. I might be wrong on that one, but they managed a 2-0 win away at Prestwich Hayes, and then, of course, as we mentioned at the top end of the show, they managed a win on Tuesday night against Longridge Town at home. So really good start for them. We talked about 2 draws being maybe a little bit of a disappointment, but overall that's not a bad start. They're unbeaten.
No, it is. Yeah, it's a good start for them. I'd say that the 2 teams that they've garnered wins against, they probably would have expected to take those wins against them. You know, Prestwich Hayes finishing 3rd from bottom or 4th from bottom of the league last season, and Longridge Town, who didn't do particularly well in the league last season either, and who are finishing 21st and 14th in the league this season, having not made good starts. So I think if Bearscough are going to be promotion fodder, they should be expecting to win games like this.
Yeah, most definitely. And listen, just looking at a couple of the replays that took place last Wednesday night while we were doing the episode 5, AFC Liverpool managed to overcome Abbey Hay 2-1, so they progressed to the next round, which we will talk about in the fixtures coming up. West Didsbury and Chorlton managed to beat Winsford United 2-1, so they progressed. That was 1-1 after 90 minutes, and Jack Bannister managed to score the winning goal in the 120th plus 1 minute. Crowd of 333 there. Back in my days when I was doing sort of gate manipulation, and I don't mean in terms of, got to be careful what I'm saying here, but if I ever had a gate of 332, I always used to put the extra tenner in and round it up to 333. So if it was 221, I made it up to 222.
Deary,
I know. I don't know whether I've got ADHD.
I think you might have, or OCD.
OCD, yeah. So listen, that's a roundup of the results over the last few days in the northwest counties. We'll look at the fixtures now ahead. Should we look at the fixtures first?
Yeah, let's have a look at the fixtures.
Go through our predictions as well. So tonight, South Liverpool are playing Litherland at the Jericho Lane Stadium. So in terms of predictions there, I think that's going to be Remy for me.
Yeah, I think South Liverpool starting the season with 3 draws and a loss. I think so. Not the most encouraging of starts really. Whereas Litherland just faring a little bit better. I think an away win probably.
The difficult one here is West Didsbury and Chorlton versus Everton LR.
It's a cracking game, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd say, given how inconsistent West Didsbury and Chorlton have been and how Everton have sort of found their feet in the last couple of games, I'm going to say a draw. And I think a draw would be very creditable for Davy Jones to go there and draw.
I'm going to go for Everton LR. Okay, so moving on to Friday's fixture, Everton Collieries versus Prestwich Hayes in the extra preliminary round. Still got that ulcer on the end of my tongue. Everton Collieries versus Prestwich Hayes. Which way do you see this one going?
It's a home win for me.
Yeah, I'm going for a home win as well. So moving on to the preliminary round continues. Can't say that word.
Good grief, man.
Preliminary round, right. So Saturday, August the 16th, Congleton Town versus Padiham.
Home win, but that's going to be a really good game.
I'm going for Padiham. You're going for
Congleton. Yeah.
FC St Helens versus Atherton LR. Another interesting one there.
That's. I'm going to say a home win there.
Right, so you're going home win. I'm going for away win. Eartham versus Chadderton. That's probably one of the biggest fixtures.
Belter, that one. I'm going to go away win there.
You're going away win? Yeah, I'm going to go for Eartham, believe it or not. But I think that's going to be a really, really tight game. But also could be an indication of what we're going to see in the league and how that plays out as well. See who's the sort of powerhouse between them two.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, Longridge versus Emily.
I'm
going for Emily. Are you going for who?
Emily.
You're going for Emily. Emily. Nantwich Town versus Charnock Richard. That's got to be a home win, isn't it? Yeah. AJ. Silsden versus Ramsbottom United.
Oh, I hate saying it, but home win.
Right, I'm going for Ramsbottom. West Didsbury and Chorlton versus Brighouse Town. I'm going for a home win there.
I'm going to go away.
You're going away. Witton Albion versus AFC Liverpool. I think that's a home win for me.
Yeah.
Wythenshawe versus Vauxhall Motors. That's got to be Vauxhall Motors.
Vauxhall Motors, yeah. Kevin Ellison hat-trick.
Yeah. Right, moving on to the league, the Premier Division.
Only a handful of games being played on Saturday the 16th. I think all teams who are taking part in this have already exited the cup, I think. Or maybe they haven't played yet, I'm not sure. But anyway.
Listen, given their current form, FC Armagh away again to Abbey Hay. I can't see them winning that, but if their season's going to kick-start, we need to see it, don't we? And then we can establish what their credentials are.
Yeah, but
so I'm going for a home win. Are you going for a home win?
I'm going for a home win as well.
The pause there was down to a yawn.
Sorry.
It's okay. Listen, I've done it loads of times. Bearscough versus Remy.
Bearscough.
Yeah, I'll go for Bearscough as well. Exton Villa versus Barnoldswick.
Draw.
I'm going for Exton. So, and you're going draw for AJ. Pilkington versus South Liverpool. I'm going to go with Pilks.
Yeah, I'm going to go Pilks too.
Yeah. Sorry.
Ooh, Cheshire Derby.
Yeah, Stockport Town versus Cheadle Town. But I mean, if you're looking at the league table to give you an indication of
seventh and eighth, with identical points, just goal difference, putting Stockport Town on top. So for me, I'm going to say draw.
You're going to say draw? I think that's reasonable. I think I will go for a draw as well.
Cool.
So we move on to First Division North. AFC Blackpool versus Ashton Town is postponed due to compassionate circumstances.
Yeah, I'm not sure of any further information to come out of that one. It wasn't. Because
they've had two postponements, haven't they, Ashton Town?
Yes, they have. Obviously, we know about the first one due to the very tragic passing of Deborah Taylor. I'll just have a look and see if there is any further advice on that one.
Well, listen, moving on to Droylsden versus Squires Gate at the Butcher's Arms. I would have normally said under these circumstances that that would be a home win for Droylsden, but I'm not entirely convinced. You know, Squires Gate have had a relatively...
They've had a stinker. Squires Gate have had a belter. Droylsden have had a stinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking at the division here, Squires Gate, where are they?
Squires Gate are... yeah, good call. I'm not sure.
I'm looking at the wrong division. Sorry, I'm looking at the Premier Division there. It happens on a live show, doesn't it? Yeah, Squires Gate are middle for diddle. Droylsden are just a little bit further below. There's only 1 point between them.
Home win, I think.
You go for a home win?
I am.
I'll still go for a home win.
There's not been any announcement. There has been an announcement from Ashton Town, but it's not detailing just why the games have been postponed. But all we can say is that they have our backing and our thoughts, whatever
thoughts,
yeah, most certainly.
Yeah, Garstang versus Fulwood Amateurs. You can only see that going one way.
And that's Garstang, yeah.
Yeah. Hulker Old Boys versus Darwin. Well, I'm going to go for the home win on this one, but I don't think there's any guarantee because it's topsy-turvy.
Yeah.
It depends which Darwin turns up.
Yeah.
But what are you going for?
I'm also going for Hulker Old Boys there.
Okay, McGull versus Nelson.
I'm going to go home win for that.
You know what, I am as well, but I think Nelson might just pull off a victory there as well. Main Road versus Ashton Athletic.
Home win.
Going Main Road. I think our predictions are going to be a little bit closer this week. MSB Walton versus Daisy Hill. I don't think Daisy Hill have got off to a particularly the great start that we expected, considering the investments. We assume that have been implemented.
Yeah, we would have hoped so, but I think a lot of it seems to be more off the pitch than on the pitch. I think they're using their social media muscle to try and bring in people on the pitch, but I think off the pitch is where the real work is being done. That being said, I think there's still more fight in them than in MSB Walton, as far as the result is concerned. So I'm saying Daisy Hill.
You're saying Daisy Hill.
Yep.
I'm going for a draw.
Yeah,
Thornton Cleveland's versus Steeton.
Top versus second.
Well, I think this is going to be a draw.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I'm going to say a draw as well.
Not a bad shout. Moving on to Division 1 South. Alsager Town versus Huffman.
Yeah, I think despite Alsager's sort of poor result of the weekend, I'm still backing them to do a good job this weekend, so I'm saying home win.
You're going for Alsager. I think I'll go for Alsager as well. Barnton versus Wolverhampton.
Saying a
Casuals.
I'm saying a draw for that one.
I'm going Barnton. You're going a draw. Camelard versus Foley.
Way win for me.
Yeah, you reckon? Just looking at the table. What are we looking at again? Camelard
versus Foley Mare.
Yeah. I'm going to go for Foley Mere.
Alrighty.
So that's me. You're going for Camel Head. Market Drayton versus Asheville.
Asheville.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go for Market Drayton. Runcorn Town versus Sandbach. I think we're going to both agree there. Runcorn. That's a home win. Shawbury United versus Eschel Hall.
Away win for me.
Yeah, I'll go with that. AJ and Frank, the same prediction. Stockport Georgians versus Allscott Heath.
Draw.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to go for a draw on that one as well. We're agreeing far too much. Telford Town versus Cheadle Heath Nomads. I think Telford Town could be a surprise package. I'm going for Telford. You're going for a draw?
I am.
Draw for AJ. Wolverhampton Sporting Community versus New Mills.
Away win.
Away win for both of us. Yes. So that's F and AJ. So that sums up the predictions for the Northwest Counties.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, listen, it's taking a little bit more shape now. I think by the end of September, when all the holidays of everybody's had their own particular holidays and they've moved on. I think that we will know more about what's going on. I think.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think it's a little bit too early to tell. In the grand scheme of it, but we are seeing a bit of consistency now that three games are out of the way. So anything beyond this now, I think will be sort of classed as a poor run or a decent run, really.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the Northwest Counties Football League stats provided by Kevin Lawton, and Glossop has scored their 2,100th goal with a winner, the Alaman.
Does he know that? Who finds this out?
He's got to keep updating it as well, which is fantastic, really. I applaud him for what he's doing. Squiresgate opening goal at home to Darwin was their 1,950th.
Okay.
Colne conceded their 1,500th goal as they lost at home to Fulwood Amateurs. Pilkington's game at home to Abbey Hay was their 200th.
God, is that he? God, they're very young, aren't they, at Pilks?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, relatively high, yeah. Don't forget, it's only 2 seasons ago when they got promoted from the
Division One North.
From Division One North, yeah.
Swipe, mate.
Yeah, they've done particularly well to stay in the division. If you think about it, but home stats: Ashton Town reached 700 home games at the weekend. Charnock Richards' defeat at home to Wareham was their 50th on the home soil. The game was also saw them concede their 300th home goal. Goal heroes: a number of triples and a quadruple in the last 7 days. Liam Atkinson, Longridge, he scored 4 against Pilkington.
Yeah.
Jordan Lazenby for West Didsbury and Chiltern, they scored a hat-trick. Lewis, Sam and Ben, Chadderton. Matthew Hersey, is it Hersey? Hersey for Stafford. Ryan Katumba for Runcorn and Spencer Lucas for Fulwood Amateurs. So a lot of goals getting scored right across the board.
Most certainly. Yeah, it's a... that's the beauty in non-league, isn't it? You can get some ludicrous results as far as that's concerned. But 2 names that we expected to be kind of amongst the Northwest Counties goals this season: Jordan Lazenby and Lewis Simon Byrne for West Didsbury and Chorlton and Chadderton, respectively. Lewis Simon Byrne finishing top of the charts last season, Jordan Lazenby finishing in 3rd for their respective teams. So expect them to see them back up again this time around. Although Fulwood Amateurs brand new to the division and Spencer Lucas wasting no time in getting acquainted with the division itself. 3 goals for him in that wonderful Fulwood Amateurs win over who was it that they played and won by 5-0?
There's that much paper there, it's hard to tell. But listen, talking about predictions there, I've obviously predicted that Foley Mere will win this weekend. But Foley Mere, believe it or not, kept their first clean sheet and recorded their first win in 14 games. So maybe it's the start of something good for them. Now, looking at the teams that went up last season into the National League North, Macclesfield atop of the league, early doors, I know, because they've only played 1 game, so they've got 2 points at the top of the chart there. I don't know whether this has been updated properly, to be fair. But
Since the 10th of August, that was only 3 days ago.
have they had more than one game or not?
No, I don't think so. I think we are current right now.
Yeah. So, Merthyr, I think we mentioned that last week, didn't we? Merthyr Town.
Merthyr Town, beating Hereford by 2-0 on the opening gambit, whereas Macclesfield, team newly promoted, taking on Southport and beating them by 2-0. There were also wins for Spennymoor Town, AFC Fylde, Chester, Chorley, Buxton, Kidderminster Harriers and South Shield along the way.
Bedford Town got their first point in their new division.
Yeah, they did.
After being promoted last season.
Yeah, they did. So they played Kings Lynn Town, who were in the playoff spots at the end of last season, and come away with a very creditable draw there against National League heavyweights.
And just looking at some of the fixtures locally at the weekend, Chorley against Chester, the All-C Derby.
CH Derby.
At Victoria. Is it Victoria Park? Victoria Stadium.
That's Chorley's ground, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's where they're playing.
Yeah.
So that's it. I can see that's going to be a really exciting game.
That's a phenomenal
game. I don't know who's going to win that.
So for me, my money is on Chester sneaking this one. To be honest, I think they made the error in not winning the league last season, and I just don't think there'll be any room for error this time around. So I'm anticipating a win there against Chorley.
Marine at home to Buxton, so they're hoping a big crowd there, boosted by their fabulous season ticket sales. Yeah, and a lovely day. By the weather is going to be fantastic this weekend.
We've got our own game to contend with, which we'll come to later. But Marine versus Buxton going to be really highly anticipated game there, not least to see how Marine will set out their stall come this season. Obviously, they had a really good end to the season last year, whereas Buxton very much comfortably middle of the park there. Bobby Grant's second game in domestic football at this level, first home game in the dugout. He'll be wanting to get off to a good start there.
Yeah, most definitely. Looking at Southport there at home to Bedford Town. Listen, they'll be hoping for a win.
They really will be. There's obviously been a lot of change at Southport, and we hope it's all for the positive. They had a bit of a rickety start last weekend. We hope they kind of kick on now against Bedford Town and start to do something.
And what can you see AFC Fylde doing this season? They're away to Scarborough on Saturday. It's going to be a difficult game for them.
Yeah, East versus West.
But AFC Liverpool, obviously one of the relegated teams from the National League
AFC
Premier Division.
Yeah, AFC Fylde relegated last season, had lost a few kind of key personnel. They'll obviously be wanting to bounce back as best they can. Scarborough Athletic, never a particularly nice place to go. Very, very challenging ground, very challenging team. You'd be hard pressed to see which way this one would go. To be quite honest, I'd say a draw, just because I truly cannot see which way it could go otherwise.
Macclesfield away to Oxford City. I think the momentum's going to carry them through again. I think they're going to go from strength to strength.
Yeah.
Arguably you could talk about the departure of Robbie Savage causing a big issue, but I don't know how many players did he eventually take with him?
3.
Just 3, is it?
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad in the end.
No, it wasn't, and they bring a brilliant travelling contingent with them this season. So Macclesfield, first home game of the season last week was against Worksop. 3,034 people piling in there to witness them win by 3-1, and I should imagine they'll take a big contingent with them this Saturday as well.
So let's moving on to the Northern Premier Division. FC United sitting at the top of the table with 2 wins out of 2.
Yeah, they've had a really encouraging start to the season, winning 2-0 against Leek Town last Saturday, and then they followed that up with a 2-0 win against Lancaster City on Tuesday night. So a very encouraging start there by the breakaway Reds, as they are called. That they are followed by the promoted Hensford Town, who've also started the season with 2 wins out of 3. So their first game, they were away at Hebburn Town and won by 1-0. They followed that one up with their a home win against Warrington Town and won by 2-1. So a really brilliant start for Hensford there.
Yeah, and looking at Cleethorpes Town, they were a newcomer to the division as well.
Yes, they were. And they started with a creditable draw away at Warrington Town. And then their first game on home soil in the division, a 3-1 win over Hyde United. So the coastal team from the Lincolnshire area making a good and decent start in the division.
And who do you think, looking at that table, I know it's early doors, but who do you think are going to be the strugglers?
It's very difficult for me to say, because there are teams who started reasonably well, like Bamber Bridge and Prescott Cables, who sort of finished to the lower end of the division. I think it's quite difficult for me to say exactly who I think is going to struggle after 2 games, although Workington AFC have done themselves no favours by losing both their games. The most recent one against Stockton Town by 6-0. So they'll probably be the team that I would look out for there.
Yeah, most definitely. It sort of rounds up that particular part of it. We were looking at the Division One West.
We will look at the Northern Premier League West, because it features a fair few teams in here that we do have, a bit of a liking toward. So Bury and Lower Breck, both with late wins to see them kick off the season in their new division in the best way possible. Bury by 2-1, Lower Breck by 1-0, sitting them mid-table. Wythenshawe Town, having got a reprieve last season, they could only manage 1 draw and 1 loss from their first 2 games. The 1-1 draw coming on Tuesday night against Bootle. That was after losing 2-0 to Kidsgrove Athletic. Kidsgrove, under Tom Pope, starting with 1 win and then a loss, against Nantwich Town, who have started the season top. They secured a 2-1 win away at Bootle to set them on their way. The other team that we like to look out for is Clitheroe, absolutely finishing, who set off really well, second in the table so far. So they had a 1-0 win away at Shivnal Town, the newly promoted Shivnal Town, and then their first home game of the season was a 2-1 win against Trafford. I saw the highlights from that game. 2 magnificently taken goals to set them on their way to a win.
Well, am I right that Sean McConville is played a part in both games as a player as well as manager?
I think that he's come off the bench in both to play a little bit of a cameo, but his team have set out their stall really well. Some good signings, a beautiful kit. I've got to be honest about it. Considering they play in all blue and all red as well.
What's the home kit colour? Is it
blue?
Blue? Is there any yellow in it?
No, all blue.
All blue.
With a little little trim of white, and then their away kit is all red with a little trim of white there too.
Yeah. So looking at some of the fixtures for this Saturday. So and 1 or 2 little predictions that we can pick out of it maybe. So we're looking at the Yeah, what's the division?
Well, there's only, so the Northern Premier League West, it's weird because there's only 2 games going on this Saturday, and they'll feature Clitheroe. So Clitheroe travel to Mossley in Manchester.
I've got all my paperwork mixed
Yeah,
up,
you have.
fair, yeah.
No worry about it. So Clitheroe will want to make it 3 wins out of 3 when they travel to Mossley, who are currently sitting in 16th, yet to pick up their first win of the season. As for the rest of the week going on, Lower Breck are travelling to Everton Collieries on Monday night, and then on Tuesday, Bury welcome Runcorn Linnets to Gig Lane. Well, they'll be hoping to kick on the season the way they want to, and make it 2 wins from 2.
Right, so I think that sort of concludes all those divisions there.
And those teams that we really like to talk about there. We, of course, wish them all the very, very best through this weekend and throughout the season, and we will continue to bring you their updates as we receive them, and we hope for good news on all fronts from Southport, Marine, Bury, Lower Breck and Clitheroe.
Yeah, and we move on to Skelmersdale United.
We certainly do. So,
and I've lost my fixture list.
Good. So, the league, the Liverpool Counties Premier League, kicks off this Saturday. Games and times spread out all across the clock and all across the city of Liverpool. But for us, there really is only one place that we will be looking at, and that is our fixture away at Joey Orr's, a 11:30 kick-off there. Do you remember where we're playing? I ain't got a clue.
We're playing at the Anfield Stadium.
Lower Brecks.
Yeah, Lower Breck Stadium.
Oh, yeah, the Anfield Community Sports Facility, yeah. It's on Lower Breck Road.
And that's at 11:30 kick-off.
Yeah, that's the morning kick-off. That's the earliest one of the 6 fixtures going on in that division there.
And where are you on in the morning, anyway?
Spoons!
Where are the Spoons?
I'm going Spoons.
We're going to Spoons. We're going to Spoons for the pre-match breakfast because of the early start. So
yes,
we're looking forward to that. Looking at some of the other fixtures there and predictions, it's not going to be an easy one for us to do.
Because we have very little information. We didn't cover the Liverpool Counties Premier League last season at all. All we can give you is all that we picked up from the league numbers last season. So last year's runners-up were Liverpool Nalgo, and they will play a 2:00 kickoff against River? Just River.
River FC.
Cool.
Yeah, you can still call them FC, even though
River
it just
FC.
says River on there. They're one of the newly promoted teams, by the way.
All right, so they come up from the Liverpool Counties Division One.
Yes.
Fair play.
Yeah, so go on, the fixtures are as they stand?
Yeah, the fixtures are as they stand. So where the early kick-off against Joey Orr's. You've then got Liverpool Nalgo against River FC at 2:00. You've got Halewood Apollo facing against Waterloo Dock at 2:30. You've then got 2 3:15 kickoffs, and that's East Rail Villa versus Daysbrook and FC King Harry, who finished 3rd last season, against MSB Woolton Reserves. I've also just noticed that I've missed out Granby Toxteth Athletic taking on the Grenadier at 1:30.
Yeah, and can we confirm yet or not our opening fixture at the Marine Travel Arena? Can we or can't we?
I mean, I ain't got it in front of me, Frank. You'll have it on... you might have it on your phone.
Right, so Skelmersdale United have been scheduled home in September as follows. Saturday the 6th of September at 3:00 against Sefton Athletic. The week after, on Saturday the 13th of September, we're home to Halewood Apollo. And Saturday the 27th of September, we are home to Liver. I think it's Liver.
I think it is Liver.
Yeah, it's noted that these fixtures on the 13th and the 27th are subject to Marine not being at home in the FA Cup qualifying fixtures. So basically, yes, our first home game is going to be most definitely on the 6th of September, and it's been confirmed.
Fantastic. So there you go. £5 entry fee in at the Marine Travel Arena. 3 o'clock kickoff Saturday, the 6th of September. Get on down and support the boys.
Yeah, listen, we don't like it. We'd like to talk about the positives. We mentioned the fact that from a Skem perspective, we're holding a race night on the Friday the 13th of October, is it? Have I got that? No, it's not the October.
It's the 10th, isn't it?
10th of October, yeah. The 13th of October, by the way, just to tell you that James and I are going for an official tour of the new stadium at the Bramley Moor Dock.
Fancy.
Based on the fact that we can't get tickets for a game, which we've been trying to do. I didn't think it would be as difficult, but it obviously is.
A lot more fans for Everton now. A lot more day trippers coming up from London.
Yeah. So just really put people in the picture, because, you know, the question's being asked about why there's not much coming out of the football club. And I think I've tried to explain it to one person in particular, and he's not quite getting it. But I'll reiterate what I've said before. When you're looking at land and options for land in a particular area, you can't make it widely known what you're doing, because people can jump on the bandwagon and it can present issues in terms of planning and giving people a preemptive strike in terms of opposing things and making life difficult for you. So we keep saying this all the time, but we are speaking to the right people. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people behind the scenes, people that we've spoken to, that we've networked with over a long period of time. It's taken, over 2 years now to get to the position where we are. The first 18 months we lost in many ways due to sort of misaligned information that we weren't told. We weren't aware of various situations at the time, which had become more apparent. And I know it all sounds so cloak and dagger, like there's some big dark secret, but there isn't, is there, AJ?
No, there really isn't. Frank and I talk daily about what's going on in the running of the football club, and I know that's really weird because I'm just a press officer, but I get very
more than a press officer.
But I'm getting very involved with how Skelmersdale United is turning out to be at this point, and I'm sort of proud to be getting my hands dirty alongside Frank. So, as Frank says, we are talking to the correct people. The direction of where we want to get to is a bit of a slow mover, but you would expect that. We cannot simply option a piece of land, get the required planning permissions for that, find a architect to design the stadium, find a building company to set out plans,
or
to
even
then
find
build
the
it.
immediate funds to fund it.
And that's what I was coming to at the end. Yeah, is that we haven't got a pot of money, or endless pockets, but we are talking to the right people who can make things happen for Skem. Rest assured, we are trying to get back to Skem just as much as what the fans want us to. All right, and because there is no news coming out of the club, it doesn't mean that things aren't happening. So we would just urge you to contact the club if you have any questions about where you think the club is going and what direction it is in, and we will happily enlighten you on as much detail as what we can do at this time.
And there's an awful lot of sort of false impressions that come from posts that appear on social media. What we have to make sure that we do is we need to make sure that we float on the field. So we've got to be hands-on, certainly from a chairman's point of view, and being the glue that keeps things together. Organising everybody else and the work. We have got a big roll call of volunteers and directors that have all got their own various roles at the football club, and they're all doing the jobs effectively and well. There's no issues, there's no problems. We've always been diverse and active in terms of asking people if they want to become involved. We do this on a regular basis. We hold meet the club nights where people can attend those meetings, and by and large most of them have not been really well represented. People don't turn up for meetings. They'll rather speak from the keyboard, rather than come along and ask the questions there, to be a little bit more direct. But what we can't do is we can't throw false promises, false dawns, or anything onto social media. We have to have some meat on the bone. And right now, it's all about negotiating and trying to move forward incrementally. And it's not a fast fix. There's nobody coming along and offering us
anything or everything, really.
No, we have a lot of loyal people that don't necessarily have deep pockets, but what they have is they have a lot of intelligence, and they're helping us, to mixed with our intelligence of running the football club to help us get back to Skem. Believe us that it's relentless. We are working very, very hard behind the scenes, but rest assured that at the same time, what we have to do is make sure that we are floating on the football pitch as well. So if anybody thinks that we interfere in football matters, well, we're here to run a football club. That means we run off the field
as well as on
the field.
Yeah, we have a responsibility to look right into the present, and then also have to look into the future as well. We're having to be short and long-sighted at the same time. It's why Frank spends an awful lot of his days speaking to people in regards to moving to Skem.
And you don't always have a great deal of success.
No.
I said to you before we started talking on air that a lot of the time we've spent speaking to people and networking with people that you don't necessarily hook first time round, but you make friends, you make relationships with the right kind of people, and somewhere some person down the line will come back around and help you. And that's been pretty much, we can't go into too much detail, but that's been pretty much the case today. We worked our absolute socks off, and then through a little bit of subliminal marketing, we feel as though that we might have opened a door that we've previously had firmly shut in our faces. But then again, we go back to what we said before. It's all slow, and it's all about fine tuning.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going to support a football club, and first of all, you've got to acknowledge the fact that the reason that we're in the position we are in the first place is not through choice. It's through things that have happened historically, and losing a ground doesn't help. And listen, when we get back to town, we'll thrive. But nobody's going to throw buckets of money at us right now, or
give us a piece of land straight away.
No, definitely not. So listen, we're all working hard. We're all very positive about the season, which starts on Saturday, albeit it's going to be really weird, kicking off at 11:30. So we'll probably still have matchsticks in our eyes.
Yes, we will.
Albeit though, if we have plenty of coffee, spoons, as you call it. Do you call it spoons?
Yeah.
Yeah, spoons. So if we go to Spoons on Saturday, we have a full English breakfast. What were you going to have? Oh no, you can't. You're a vegetarian, aren't you?
Eggs on toast. Maybe some beans.
Or hash browns.
Oh no, they sit a bit heavy on my stomach. I've got to be a bit
Does it? Yeah. Listen, you're only 30. Everything sits heavy on my stomach at 58. Even a banana that's supposed to bind you sits heavy on my stomach.
Yeah, but I've got my triathlon at the next month. So.
Oh right. Go on. Give us details on your triathlon.
So I'm running an Ironman.
South Wales.
In South Wales, on the 21st of September. An Ironman triathlon, for those of you who didn't know, is a 2.2 mile swim in the sea. It's then followed up by a 112 mile bike ride, and then that's followed by a 26.2 mile marathon run.
Wow!
Yeah, that's
amazing.
That's an awful lot.
So what's it called?
Ironman.
Ironman.
Yes, it is.
There's another one, isn't there? Is there a tough man? There's another one, isn't there?
Oh.
There's a few sort of variations of it.
Yeah. So you've got the Ironman, you've got the half Ironman. You've got, I'm sure there's like a 24-hour Ironman or something.
So how are you training? Other than obviously eating next to nothing,
nothing that's bad. So I've got a stationary bike at home, so I spend anywhere between 2 and 4.5 hours on that twice a week. I'm also running anywhere between 8 to 19 miles twice a week, and then I'm getting in the pool and trying to do anywhere between a mile to 2 miles per session. It's really time consuming, and with a new puppy in tow as well, it doesn't make for easy consistent progress. The hope at this point is just to be able to finish it. If I can finish it...
So you've not done one before yet?
I've never done one before.
Have you done a marathon?
I've never done a marathon.
What's the longest bike ride you've been on?
I did
up and down the prom at Southport.
Well, no, I cycled to Southport from my home in Wigan, and then back. So that was about 60 kilometres. About 60 kilometres, so 40 miles or so.
I've done the longest cycle I've done is 116 miles in one day.
Bleed now.
Yeah.
That's very good, though.
I think it went to Prestatyn and back. I might be wrong, it might have been further. I can't remember now. But it was Prestatyn and back, or it might have even been Rill. I can't remember. But I've done Morecambe and back as well, which was 100 miles.
Oof, that's very good, that.
Yeah.
That might be my next one.
Yeah. I don't know how you're going to perform a marathon after you've spent 112 miles?
Yeah, so
112 miles
about 6-7 hours.
On a saddle?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it'll loosen you up if nothing else.
Good God, yeah, well.
Get rid of a bit of the swelling between the legs.
And it'll probably make me lose my weight, probably my bowel as well,
So that's Saturday the 21st of...
Sunday
the 21st of September.
It is, yeah.
The day after James's birthday.
Yeah, the day after James's birthday, and the day after one of our home games as well.
Are you stopping overnight?
I am,
So where is it starting from?
It's starting in Wales, in Tenby. South Wales, so I've got to go down there on Friday night, drop off my gear on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday I'm doing it, and then on the Monday we're travelling back up.
All right. Who's driving?
I'll drive there. I should imagine Jamie will drive home.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be in any fit state. You'll be stiff as a board.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, listen, good luck for that. We'll speak about that more as we build up. Are you raising any money for charity in the process?
I'm not, no. If you want to put some money in the Skelmersdale United floating fund, though, your donations will be very gratefully received.
That's fantastic. And listen, good luck for that.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, brilliant. So listen, looking at what have we learned this week? We're coming to the end of the show.
Yeah.
What have you learned?
I've learned that communication is everything in this business, and I may very well have said it before, but it comes from both sides. So in particular with Jason Whittingham and his failure to communicate properly what his intentions are with the football club, and instead just pointing fingers at everybody else. It's not solving any issues for the fans and for the staff at Morecambe Football Club, and I suppose that really reflects in some part on our own communication difficulties that we have had this week. Yes, we may have been a little bit more silent on the going back to Skem regard, but by all means ask us and we will give you the answers that we can give you. So communication.
But there's not much to report.
And there really isn't much to report at this time. It's a very slow burning process. But yeah, ask and ye shall receive, but communication is everything.
There's also political sensitivity as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've got to add that to it. But listen, what have I learned this week? A friend doesn't criticise you publicly, he supports you privately. Yeah?
Very apt.
So that's my bit for the week. Listen, we leave the final bits of the closing words to the lovely dulcet tones of AJ.
You've been listening to the Speaking Frankly Football Show with me, AJ Vergette, and my co-host, Mr. Frank Hughes. This podcast is accessible wherever you get your podcasts, most prevalently on Spotify and Amazon Music. Please remember to rate and review each episode, as we do thrive on your feedback. Please also subscribe to us so that you can be the first to find out when a new episode of the Speaking Frankly Football Show has been released. We are also available on social media sites, most prevalently on Facebook and X, under the banner name Speaking Frankly Football Show. So from myself and Frank, we will see you next week for another episode of the show. Until then, bye-bye for now.